Hey, good morning. Bob Rapp here. It's 4:16 on April 27th. Hey, it's always good to know smarter people than yourself, and I wanted to introduce you to Rene. Rene Bremer is a very clever person. He's a data scientist. He's an Azure architect. He works in AI, and I'm pointing you to his GitHub right now because probably I can't answer all of your questions around the connectivity sort of between Databricks, AI, and DevOps. So what I wanted to show you is, first of all, his site. So GitHub, R-E, Bremer, B-R-E-M-E-R. But I wanted to take you just step by step through a blog that he wrote back in 2019, which I think is a pretty clever thing. So he updated this March 20th, 2021. So what we're going to do is build an HTTP endpoint. This is predicting income. Doesn't really matter what it does. But we're using Azure Databricks with Spark, Azure ML, Azure DevOps to create the model and the endpoint, and of course Kubernetes, because Kubernetes is pretty awesome. So you've got a high level here of the chart of what we're going to do. And then he's got a follow-up on the blog. So basically, you need to have a machine learning model in Azure Databricks. Create a new cluster, import your notebook, run your notebook, manage your model in the machine learning service. Now, we spent a lot of time actually talking about that today, but just so you know, I've got some other videos on that. So add your library to the Databricks cluster. Select this particular one, and the SDK you're looking for is the Azure ML SDK. Make sure it's installed, import the notebook, initialize the machine learning service. Look at the results in Azure ML, because you've now got an experiment. You're going to look at a run. It's going to take you to the instance here. Click on the experiment, find the model artifact. Then you're going to create and prepare the DevOps project. By the way, you can also do this in GitHub, but DevOps, I like using DevOps, especially if you're new to AI ops. Create a token, create a cluster, create a project with a service connection, add a resource manager for the service connection, add some variables for your code, and then build and release the model in Azure DevOps. Now you've got a model that you can use independently, review your pipeline, and run the build release pipeline. Consume the HTTP endpoint with Postman. So in the end, you've got Azure Databricks with Spark. The Azure Learning Service, Machine Learning Service used to keep track of the models. DevOps is used to build the image and release to the endpoint. So now you've got the model. I think Rene's great. He takes questions. He's a good human. So if you have any questions about this, obviously I've gone really fast through it, but it should be easier for you to replicate. If you have any questions, reach out. Thanks a bunch.